Hey, how's that for a rousing start? There's nothing more Canadian than it being freezing cold outside, and it is. Even the Brass Monkeys are in tonight. But being inside where it's warm on a Saturday night, getting set to watch our favorite sport. It's hockey night in Canada. It's the Leafs and the Jets. It's James Reimer getting the start for the Leafs. Last 3 starts he struggled, no wins, a 4.07 goals against average. Hoping for a big showing tonight is the Manitoba native. At the other end, Michael Hutchinson leads the NHL with a great save percentage and a 1.87 goals against average. Graham Skilliter and Chris Lee are the referees. Steve Miller and Ryan Galloway are on the line. It is great to have you with us wherever you're looking in, coast to coast on CBC. It's hockey night in Canada. I'm Paul Romanuk. Gary Galley by my side, down at ice level, drinking it all in is Glenn Healy right between the benches. Scott Oak also here as well. It's going to be a great night. Let's hope the game holds up. Leafs coming off of a loss last night in Minnesota where the big line played a lot of ice, and they're out there to start things off tonight. Bozak, Kessel, and Van Riemsdyk. Although a little switcheroo, Komarov taking Van Riemsdyk's place. And he taps the puck back. Puck moved up ahead, looking for Santorelli, who'd come off the bench, but it's grabbed and held by Hutchison.
One thing Randy Carlyle talked about that had to improve is the way that Toronto Maple Leafs exit the zone. And it looks like it's going to be a nice clean exit right here to Kessel. And in comes the big man. And I mean big. 250, 60 pounds coming straight at you. Then they come up the ice and Komarov fails to get the puck in. And those are just 2 things the Leafs are going to have to improve on.
Puck comes back to Morgan Rielly. Snaps it in just wide of the net. Santorelli after it. He's been a great signing for the Leafs, coming in on a 1-year deal, a lot of energy, 4th leading scorer on the team, and he's grinding after that puck in the corner against Buckland. Puck moved around back of the goal. Here's Santorelli with it again. Back to Rielly, fires a wrist shot wide of the target. And let's see the Jets find their feet here. Frolik gets it in. Scheifele comes in. Scheifele trying to fire one in on goal, that's knocked away.
That one stung. Morgan Rielly is making his way to the bench, but I'll tell you what, he felt that.
Panik with it, plays it around. Here's Panik again, up there with Clarkson. Party standing up at the blue line for the Jets, gets some assistance from Postma, who moves it up. And the puck fired in, Reimer deflects that away. Party looking forward here along the boards, pokes it up ahead. Moved up around back to the net. Lowry trying to chase it down. It rolls to Reimer, and he will hang on to it.
Mark Scheifele cuts right inside of Santorelli, and he's going to walk right in, and Rielly's got no chance to eat this one, and he does. Gets him right on the laces.
No goals and sticks for Scheifele. So as a goaltender, you know he's going to shoot, and as a defenseman, you know that as well. Kessel's leaving. He gets some equipment prepared. Ryan Papineau, the athletic trainer. Your skate hits a rut, you get the guy with a gut, and he'll go over and do your skate. After you've been with the team for 25 years, I can make that joke with him. Tough stretch for the Leafs, so 5 in 7. All because of the World Juniors. In fact, it's almost not fair because they get their building back on January 7th. The boards get recrusted on the 6th. They should have spread this out.
Oh, when Buffalo runs over you, you can wreck all your equipment.
Yeah, they come home for a bit for 2, and then 9 of their next 11 are on the road. That one tipped just off the rough side of the goal.
Nobody feels sorry for you in this league, and you look at the team they're playing right now, the Winnipeg Jets, they're heading on to the road too, and they've got their fair share of injuries as well.
Slater was up there looking for it. That was Ashton, went heavily into the boards. Puck comes back. Postma fires one in, just tipped. Party up after it in the corner, looking towards the front of the goal. Peluso up there buzzing around. Comes to the corner to help out, being challenged there along the boards. Good work by Peluso. Gets it back down low. Pollock for the Leafs, fishes it out. And Ashton will start back, just moves the puck up and ahead. Breaking down the wing. Booth fires a wrist shot in on goal, chest high. Grabbed and held by Hutchinson.
One guy that I'm interested to see at the end of the night, if his name gets announced, and has to be one of the last guys off the ice because he needs to be a star. And there's a lot of pressure playing on a Saturday night, coast to coast to coast. A lot of pressure playing close to home. That's the Reimer dance, and you can see it in his eyes. I mean, he has not had a couple good starts in his last 3 outings. Goals against his balloon. And let's face it, the club doesn't play well in front of him. In fact, it's usually a 40-shot performance. So he's going to have to be great. 6 o'clock game, travel, a lot of things going against him.
Franson fired one through, a bit of a seeing eye shot that skipped in on goal, and Hutchinson steered that away. Franson. Komarov looks over his shoulder. Wheeler. Knocked down. Bozak looks, shoots, right on. Stopped by Hutchinson. He hangs on to it.
Well, we're going to get our good look here. Glenn, you talked about James Reimer. This kid has been unbelievable for the Winnipeg Jets. When you look at him, he's out in California in the East Coast League with the Ontario Reign. He squares to the puck so well, doesn't give up a lot of rebounds, tracks the puck. He's a big body. He's got the best goals against average and the best save percentage in the National Hockey League. And a lot of people here have been talking that he may eventually take over the #1 job here for the Winnipeg Jets.
5th-year pro, and like a lot of goalies, a little bit of seasoning before he sort of stepped into the breach. And defensemen and goalies, the rule of thumb, they take longer to develop.
Good move by Winnipeg, though. Boston's got a glut of goalies in the net. They've got Rask, they've got Thomas. They drafted him in 2008. And so Winnipeg knows he's a good goaltender. He's not going to get a look. We'll give him a look.
Clarkson moved it up ahead. Van Riemsdyk lunging after it, pokes it there to the side of the goal. Smith was in the neighborhood, but it's cleared out. Racing up there, Frolik trying to get to it, couldn't. Puck played back in, and that will be an icing call on Toronto. 16:19 to go in the first period. Here's Scott Oak.
Paul, just to add to the Michael Hutchinson story, a year ago he was wearing the uniform of the Ontario Reign of the East Coast League. Got a big break there when the other goalie got hurt. He played 20 straight, went 22-4-2 overall, and that got a lot of attention. Jets called him up to St. John's, where he went 15-5, which got him called up to Winnipeg for the final 2 games of the season. His free agent signing by the Jets threatens to be one of the best ever by this franchise.
Little, Ladd, and Wheeler out there for Winnipeg. That's their big line. Clarkson up there in the forecheck for the Leafs. Sherratt moves it up. And wheeling in is Little, dishes off. Ladd coming up there to look for it. Panik having a little bit of trouble there, being pressured by Ladd. Here's Santorelli. Up to the line. Panik is there. McKegg has the puck. McKegg playing his 2nd game for the Leafs since being called up from the minors, and he taps the puck up ahead there to Santorelli.
Big, heavy team, the Winnipeg Jets, and they come out and they start most of their games just like this one, where they get on you absolutely quick, and you got to be so careful.
This is Franson. Jets making changes, Leafs doing likewise. Phaneuf moves it up ahead. Postma trying to get in front of it there. Taps it over. Lowry plays it in. Hustling up there. Gagliardi couldn't get there in time. Here's Booth. And he looks up ahead. In over the blue line. That was Winnick with him. He couldn't get it to him. Puck rolls up. Gagliardi looking for, and play is whistled down.
But if I'm a Leaf forward on that bench, I'm saying to myself as the game starts, and I'm trying to clear my head, I say, let's get at this Winnipeg defense. And Clarkson has a chance with Sherratt. Sherratt at the start of the season, opening night, was in St. John's with the Ice Dogs. Jay Harrison was in Carolina. Klitzum was a healthy scratch. Wasn't in the opening lineup, and Byfuglien was a forward. What does that tell you about this defense for Winnipeg? Get on them. It's got to be 12 against any one of them that has a puck.
Winnipeg's shredded at the back end as badly as Toronto are up front, and some would argue perhaps worse. They're top 4 defensemen. And your point well taken. We'll see if the Leafs can follow that game plan. Booth moves it out.
They don't play a lot of minutes, though, right? How about all the minutes?
Polak up throws himself into the play. Hardy after it. He's under some pressure. Bozak pressuring him. Bozak, Komarov, Kessel out there for the Leafs. Bozak in the corner here has it pushed away. Party with it. Ridden into the boards. Kessel claims the spoils, gets it down. Bozak trying to scoop it in front. It went off Postma. Slid up there by Slater to the blue line, but not out. Kessel. Couple of whacks at it. Jets had a change. They needed one. Slater carries out to center, and he will loft it down into the Toronto zone.
Good play by the Leafs. Kind of fired back here. Good shift. Got Winnipeg down low. It's the one thing they will give up chances in their end.
Here's Scheifele trying to work some magic there along the boards, and none forthcoming. He just pushed it up ahead. Frolik moved it down. Riley, who took a shot off the skate earlier, back out there for the Leafs, and he's got the puck now. Polak. Riley. Moved it up ahead, jumping up into the play. Good anticipation there by Byfuglien, and he's in there deep, trying to work it out. He's got it now. Scheifele's an option. He comes over to see him, works it all the way back, pushed on goal. Sherratt with a good one-timer right on target, and Reimer makes the save. 13:07 to go in the first period. First good strike for the Jets. Sherratt lets it go, and Reimer all over it. Nope. Well, Randy Carlyle juggling the lines around a little bit, and that one of the juggles seeing Komarov come up onto the top line.
Why? It's not because he communicates, it's because he competes. And there's an example. 2 years ago, probably couldn't play on that line. Now he can.
Paul Maurice talked about Dustin Byfuglien this time going back to the blue line, picking his spots, and there's a great point right there as he comes down the wall, keeps the play alive, and as he rotates around, a nice setup here in the high slot for this one-timer, as he's played over 2 minutes already in this game in the first period.
4 shifts already.
You made a great observation about Byfuglien, Gary. They were showing a series of his hits up on the scoreboard, and every one of them looks crushing. And he said something along the lines of, when you're 260 pounds, every one will look crushing.
Exactly. It's ferocious every time you run into him or he runs into you. One way or another, you're going to feel it.
Jay Harrison shovels it in. Puck comes all the way up around the boards. Well, that one appeared to handcuff Reimer. He's a little off balance. He gets back up. Puck scooped towards the goal, wide by Harrison. Here's Harrison again. Ladd is an option, and one he exercises. Tips it up ahead. Little. Puck bouncing around. Little stays with it there in the corner. Ladd up, drops down in behind the goal, and curls around towards the front of it. The puck comes back there to Postma. Plays it up around back of the net. Trying to come out. Wheeler. All the way around. Takes the scenic route. Gets a look. And in the end, not much of a shot. It's just grabbed and held. Oppression, survival, and triumph are at the heart of Lawrence Hill's The Book of Negroes. The 6-part miniseries starring Louis Gossett Jr. and Cuba Gooding Jr. begins on Wednesday night at 9 on CBC.
Wheeler ripping around there. Toronto not panicking, leaving him on the perimeter.
Gagliardi sends it up around. Party banks it up. Nice bounce right out towards the front of the net, and Gagliardi couldn't quite get to it. Lowry. Gagliardi. Little pick run there by Holzer, who got in his way. Now Gagliardi's got it again. Peeks there to Lowry, back of the net. It comes to him now. Lowry looks around towards the front. Nobody home yet. Gagliardi with it again. Lowry drops down low. He'll curl to the front as Party has it at the line. Works it up along the boards. Gagliardi. Lowry is out in front. Steps up there and couldn't get to it before Gardner did. And pitching up there was Postma with a scoop at it. A backhand shot right in front, and Reimer makes the save. Referee there to wave things down. Good play by Paul Postma, who moved right up.
Big, heavy team. They come into that hard. You know, the one thing, you build your team in the West, you build them to be big and strong, and Paul Maurice has got all these big bodies, and they can fly. And similar to the Los Angeles Kings, they come to the net hard as well. Great possession time by the Winnipeg Jets. Paul Maurice said it's the best remedy for all their top 4D being out. Play more in the offensive zone. That's the way to do it, and that's what the Winnipeg Jets do on this shift. And eventually, this puck is going to come to the net, and you're going to see lots of traffic right at James Reimer because they know they're not going to score the pretty goals. They got to dig them out, get in front, deflect them. They don't care how it goes in as long as it gets into the back of the net. Unfortunately, this time they push James Reimer in with it, and they're not going to count those, that's for sure. But they're a hungry bunch.
Lowry and Gagliardi, 17 and 21. Yeoman service up there. Just pernicious pursuit of that puck. Scoop there to the side and jam at it there. Perreault, number 85. Now he leaps over to the corner. He gave Komarov a bit of a shot. Meanwhile, the Leafs back down. Riley flicks it up off the boards. Bozak up there in the forecheck. Frolik will ring it in. Puck's going to hop up and around. Scheifele after it. He was rubbed out there by Polak. Komarov manages to control that puck. Gets it back. Byfuglien steps up. He'll curl back. Fires that wrist shot up. Comes off the board. Scheifele with it. He's got Perreault down low, but he goes back to the blue line instead. Scheifele trying to struggle loose. Good work there. Sherratt gets a second chance. Shoots! And a bullet just going wide of that corner.
They are so impressed with Ben Sherratt. They can't say enough about the kid. They brought him up. They thought he'd fill a few minutes. This kid's playing 20-plus minutes a game some nights.
Defenseman of the year for their minor league team last year. And showing some of that form here up in the show. Winnick taps it back. Booth had it roll away from him. Phaneuf had some trouble. Puck turned over. Wheeler looking, waiting for the reinforcements to arrive. They do. He tries to work it towards the slot, but it's pushed out by Booth. Driving right back in. Postma and over the blue line. Comes back out. Jets regrouping. Wheeler plays it all the way back to Party. A couple of changes being made by Paul Maurice as the puck is dumped in. This is Franson.
Those exits are troublesome. When you look at the first shift of the game with Kessel not getting it out, and then that one there, Dion Phaneuf, and this team played last night and played a lot of hard minutes. And you got to wonder if they're focused right now. It's coming out of your end. You got to be precise.
Van Riemsdyk, Kessel, and Bozak played between 23 and 26 minutes, way above their season average.
I mean, the Maple Leafs deserved better last night. They played a heck of a hockey game, but Winnipeg is doing exactly what you got to do. Make them play tired. Get on them.
Dion Phaneuf struggling to the bench behind the play. He was hit by Thorburn and really was rocked. Meanwhile, Van Riemsdyk gets it back. Gardner quickly over to Holzer. Banks it in off the boards. Still up there, back of the net. Dipping and diving around is Santorelli. Back out for Holzer, flashing it across there for Gardner. He'll wheel up. Gardner still. Sharp angle shot just pushed on goal there by Santorelli and held by Hutchinson. Dion Phaneuf still shaking away the cobwebs. Chris Thorburn, bang! Back with more in a moment on Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. Well, do you think Phaneuf heard the footsteps or the skate steps? Bang, did he ever take a hit there?
Well, you know what? You got to punish the good players on the opposing team. Dion Phaneuf plays a lot of minutes. You get a chance to finish them hard.
Well, talking about minutes, and Maurice mentioned it, you got to play in the Leaf zone. In 4 minutes, that's the only time the Leafs were in the Jet zone. In fact, it's getting so bad, my right side of my neck is getting sore from looking to my right. The Leafs have got to get on their horse here. Got to get playing a little bit in the offensive zone. Find a way to stop the momentum first and then gain it back.
Quinn used to say all the time, they're not going to play tired, make them play tired. And the team that played last night for Winnipeg, jump on them hard, finish all your checks, make them play in their end. Those are the hard minutes, and that's exactly what Winnipeg is trying to do.
This is 5 shifts in a row now in the Leaf zone. Rope-a-dope.
Oh, Gardner turns it over, puck right in front of the net, just blasted wide. Scheifele had a great look at it. After that persistence from the Jets forced the turnover. Here's Perreault, feathers it up ahead. Scheifele trying to climb his way through. Perreault's got it back. Scheifele in the corner, giving a bump. Gardner back. Slams on the brakes, looking for a way out. A bit like a mouse in a maze there. He can't find one. And he's knocked down, and here's Scheifele, and now Gardner takes it back. Works it up ahead. Ashton sips it across. Winnick there along the boards. He'll get a second chance. Chopped it towards the corner. Postema moves it back out. Here's Riley. Tucked it up ahead. Booth turned it over. Tapped back up by Gagliardi. Wheeling up in the wing. Halischuk gets it around there into the corner. Gagliardi after it. Halischuk up there to support. He stepped into his man. That was Riley. Puck moved to the line. Riley taps it up ahead. Ashton. This is Postma. Got it up ahead. Gagliardi wheels and deals in over the blue line. Drops it off and heads to the slot. Puck comes up. Reimer knocked that away. Gagliardi right there in front. He and Reimer getting a little bit involved. Reimer's back up. Shot comes in. Low and wide. Wheeler was trying to set himself up for the tip.
Quite sure if Gagliardi ran into him or if he just fell down, but he was laying inside the net there for a second or two.
Here comes Little. Ladd going for the net. Now he'll jump up in support. Ladd with it. Little follows it around to the corner. Harrison had pinched well up there from the left point. Ladd after the puck. Up ahead, Kessel couldn't wheel it in. And that has been a recurring theme. Kessel cheating a little bit towards the neutral zone, looking for that big breakout pass. Hasn't worked more often than not the last few games.
Lions got 48 goals, about 40% of the team's production. So you got to lean, you got to ski downhill sometimes, but sometimes he tends to overdo it. But right there, that was close.
Hustling back up, Byfuglien wheeled it up there on the right side for Peluso. Byfuglien turns towards the high slot. And meanwhile, up there battling away as Peluso comes around, shoots! And that one tipped up over the glass and into the netting, and we get a stoppage. Shots on goal, 8-4 for the Jets. You're watching Hockey Night on Canada and CBC. Well, Gary Galley nailing it, said make him play tired, force him to turn the puck over. That's what's been happening, Glenn.
Everyone is critical of Randy Carlyle not playing a fourth line. Well, the fourth line's on the ice here. Let's look at their magic. Not so much magic. You turn the puck over once, you turn the puck over twice, and that fourth line that's on the ice have combined for a total of 1 goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, as Mike Babcock likes to say, sometimes your fourth line should be clock killers. Well, if you're going to be a clock killer, don't be the game killer and the game decider by managing the puck the wrong way.
Perreault out there after it along the boards with Scheifele, and it'll come out. Here's Byfuglien.
You look at that hit from Thorburn on Phaneuf, and that's the kind of footsteps that Gardner here is coming when he kind of pokes the puck as opposed to getting to it and firing it hard, and that can help you clear your zone.
Unofficial count, the Leafs have turned the puck over 4 times. Santorelli gets it up ahead. Oh, Smith couldn't close the gap. He's got it now in the corner. Santorelli up looking for it. Puck goes off a skate. Byfuglien controls it. No problem there. Sherratt. Scheifele tucks it up ahead on the move. Frolik walks in, gets a chance, and a good one. And that was stopped by Reimer.
Good defense is a good offense, and if you're struggling in your end, the one place you don't want to be is in your end, and the Winnipeg Jets doing a very good job of that as they exit the zone nice and clean. Little bunt back to the middle. The Leafs get caught all coming over. Byfuglien joins it. It's a 2-on-1. That forces Gardner to have to kind of back out a little bit. Let the left-handed shot, Frolik, get played by Reimer. Reimer does a great job, makes a good solid save.
7 points in the last 9 games for Frolik, and a chance to add to that total there.
When your team looks to be a little off like the Leafs have started here, the one person that can't be is Reimer, and so far so good.
Hudson fires a wrist shot, a maze of sticks and skates, and it found its way through in on goal. Oppression, Survival, and Triumph at the heart of Lawrence Hill's The Book of Negroes. The 6-part miniseries starring Louis Gossett Jr. and Cuba Gooding Jr. begins Wednesday night at 9 on CBC.
Mentioned this hit earlier a couple times, and it's Thorburn just coming in. It's a good, clean body check. Phaneuf unloads the puck, and when he unloads it, he still owns it for a second or so. And that gives Thorburn the chance to finish it hard, and looks like he felt it, maybe just jammed his ribs a little bit, but he's back on the ice, and he's good to go.
Canuck plays more ice time than any other Leaf almost every night. Last night was an exception for their game in Minnesota. Here's Kessel. Got some room in that right side and a lethal wrist shot, but he couldn't land it on target that time. Little tapped it up ahead. Ladd turned back at the blue line. Kessel moved it ahead. Komarov coming in. Bozak's in front. The pass came across, and a nice play. Active stick there from Byfuglien to knock it away and start things back. Offside called on the Jets.
It's amazing that the size of him and how he moves. I mean, you're going to watch him break up this play in front of the net. Great stick position and good patience. He doesn't rush. He lets Little come down and help him. He makes a good stick play, and then he's gone. He's up at the far blue line, and he went offside.
Oh, that's a veteran play, and that's a rookie play by Sherrod as he tries to take the body on Kessel. Good to take the body on him, but if you miss him and you get white ice and air, then you've got the most dangerous trio going the other way, and that's exactly what happened there. The vet saved the day.
3:34 left in the first, you know, and I think if you're going to finish this period strong here, it's 0-0, and you know you're a little bit on your heels. Come out and have a few really strong shifts. Hopefully, take that into the break with you.
Well, Glenn mentioned that was a rookie play, a rookie mistake by Sherrod. You were a defenseman for a long time. When did you learn that that's not the way to take a guy? When do you learn that lesson?
Well, he's going to learn the league. You learn the players, you learn their tendencies and what they do, and you learn to give them to some guys you got to give space to, and sometimes you got to live to tell another day, right? And I think you just rushed that a bit much.
Here's Ashton, fires one, it goes off a skate. Booth up there after it. Booth, Ashton works it all the way back to the blue line. Polak wide open on the right side, and he got it, and he got a decent shot in. Very tippable for Booth, who was down in front. Here's Scott Oake.
Paul, it's not Paul Maurice's favorite topic, but he's willing to explain dropping an F sharp back in October when the Jets were 1-4. Maurice says he was frustrated in the media scrum at the suggestion or the tone the Jets didn't have enough leadership. The scrum occurred after an emotional meeting in the Jets room. Maurice's quote, "I could make you cry in that room." Thing is, the Jets season kind of turned around after that quote, although Maurice remains very apologetic.
An F sharp. Well,
nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Especially when your eyes aren't blinking and you're staring down.
Well, we've had a few of those meetings with coaches, Gary.
Oh, yeah.
In our day.
Oh, more than I'd like to tell you.
Still a great word to get someone's attention.
I saw Pat Quinn punch a Gatorade jug that was full off the end of a table that was about 6 feet long.
And Quinn with a hand about the size of a hand.
Oh, yeah, you got your attention real quick.
Okay, I'm going to do my own version of analytics here, okay? And what I see is that Winnipeg Jets have been in the Leaf zone for 8 minutes and 24 seconds. That's not a good number. That means you're in full retreat pretty much the entire first period. In fact, the Leafs went 8 minutes to get shot 3 to shot 4, and they went over 5 minutes for their next shot, 5 to 6, 4 to 5, correct. And so those numbers are not good. You're looking to get 2 points in a hostile building.
Do you give them any quarter for having played last night?
Well, you can have all the excuses you want, 5 and 7. They're there. But this is a Winnipeg team missing their top goal scorer, their top 4 minutes on the back end. Got to find a way. That's what teams do in the National Hockey League.
Especially when you're battling for that playoff spot. They're both in that wild card position.
Van Riemsdyk tried to get it in front. It actually went off a skate and rolled there to Hutchison, who hangs on.
You've got it. You can't look at what's coming and woe is us. I mean, no one feels sorry for you. I said that earlier. You've got to find a way to manufacture wins. And Glenn's bang on right. The offensive time is leaning heavily towards Winnipeg, the shots, all of that. But the truth of the matter is it's 0-0. Your goaltender has played really well. He seems to be in his groove. And if you can get through this period unscathed, get a couple of deep breaths, maybe you can recatch it back.
But the focus should be on that Winnipeg defense. They are missing such a key component. Get at them, and get at them often. And that's what's missing from the Leaf game.
Bozak having to contend there with Byfuglien. Puck bounces up here. Franson. Turned over there, Wheeler. Ladd looking for it, and it came just out. Wheeler tried to lean back in. The linesman was right there, and it's an offside call.
Glenn mentioned how many of the D are missing for the Winnipeg Jets, and it's not how many, but these guys are main players on this blue line, and there's what they started with on opening night. 4 of those guys are not there, and that's a lot of big minutes to play. And how did they fix it? Well, Clitsome came back from injury. Sherratt's come up, and he's played pretty solid for them, and they got Jay Harrison from Carolina, and he's helped to fill a bit of a void, and Byfuglien is carrying huge minutes and playing extremely well, and they've kind of pieced it together that way. It's a weakness still. It's not going to be an oil painting every night, but they're finding a way to make it work.
Ladd was looking for that puck, but the pass intercepted by Santorelli. Franson with it. Back to Phaneuf. Up there for Van Riemsdyk. Just deflects it down into the corner. Hutchinson out to play it. Oh, almost it is turned over. Van Riemsdyk right in front and a chance. Santorelli looking for it as well. Polak at the blue line. Zips it across. Riley holds it up around back of the goal. Santorelli trying to coax it loose along with Smith. And the puck saucered down the ice. Perreault coming hard after it. Polak could hear those skate blades. Here's Clarkson lumbering up there on the left side. He was clocked by Byfuglien. He ran into him. Offside. And another solid hit there.
Big Dustin Byfuglien telling the Leafs, I'm here to play. A little lackadaisical play by Hutchinson getting back to his net, and he nearly paid for it as the Leafs almost got a break here. And then Dustin Byfuglien flexing the muscle here with 26 seconds left. He'd already knocked down Clarkson just at the red line, and there he gives it to Panik.
That's been a big shift for Byfuglien. It started from a face-off win, and he competed against Bozak. Wasn't a big hit, but it was a battle for a puck, a one-on-one that he won.
Yeah, and then he followed that up with a big hit along the boards and at the line. Puck fired in there by Sherratt. Perreault looking for it. Sherratt moving up there from the left point. Wasn't able to keep it in. Polak fires it down, and that will do it for period number 1.
What a period for Dustin Byfuglien. He's had a number of hits. He's had a couple of good offensive chances, and he has laid the body on a number of Leafs here in the first period. And man, did he hit the pick as well. That's 260 colliding with you. I'm telling you, that'll loosen up all your gear.
Wow, did he ever nail Panik. Big hit, and he's 208 pounds, and he went down like a rag doll. Here's George Stroumboulopoulos. Well, still zeros in the scoreboard. All the other numbers, possession numbers, giveaways, all those numbers slanted definitely against the Leafs in that first period. But give some love to the Winnipeg Jets rather than the half-empty portion of the glass. Look at the half-full portion that is the Jets' very good play.
They've made a habit of coming out of the gate quick, and they've certainly done that here in this game against Toronto. You look at the problems that Toronto's had exiting their zone, and Randy Carlyle's talked about it. We'll show you some of the issues here. This is one that just doesn't get into the zone that should be easily down along the boards. And Santorelli has trouble, and you got to give credit to the Winnipeg Jets too, as they're taking away time and space extremely quick.
Here's Byfuglien over to that corner, taps it up around there back of the net. Wheeler comes out, gets it right out, swinging a miss there by Andrew Ladd. He was cocked and ready to fire right there in the slot. Pass comes up. That was intended for Ladd. He's going to give chase now up towards the corner. Jets on a change. Puck comes up along. Frolik looking for it, giving a bit of a bump. Scheifele with it. Ladd wants to get to the bench. He will now after Scheifele has gotten the puck up in there deep around back of the net. Up there to help out is Frolik. Zipping in there is Perreault. Perreault, Frolik. This is Perreault. Bozak watching him. Got it out towards the front. And it was intended for Scheifele, but it went off of Phaneuf to the goaltender.
Here's what the Jets did really well in the first. Anything you can do, we can do better. The Leafs lead the NHL in hits. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to try to match them. And it's to a man. It's by committee. It's the big guys. It's the little guys like Perreault. And then it's the really, really big guys like Byfuglien. Here's the compete level of Byfuglien. And that has been the forte of the Winnipeg Jets. Not woe is me, we're missing a bunch of guys, but we're going to get it done with what we got.
Puck skips around towards the line there. Party with a bat at it, wasn't able to keep it in. Here's Clarkson now, and he gets tangled up in his own bad luck and lost the puck. Got up, got it up there deep, and trying on the wraparound to tuck it in was McKegg. Going towards the front of the net. Alishuk looking forward. It's tipped up over the glass and out of play.
And back-to-back losses for Winnipeg. I mean, you gotta understand, when you're losing back-to-back games and you're trying to hang on to a wild card spot, it's not going to make people very happy. And Paul Maurice said this morning to us, and he said it a half a dozen times, that he likes the compete level and the effort of his team. They've got to control their discipline, their penalties, but he doesn't want to kind of temper the fact that they have this aggressive nature to the way they play. He likes it, and we've seen some of that, and I think it's beneficial to them. But when you can't afford to get on long losing streaks when you're trying to hold on to a wild card spot in this league.
And a little repair going on there up along the boards. I mean, I got to think if you're sitting in the dressing room after practice this morning and you're the Jets, you're salivating a little bit going, come on, these guys are coming in. Last game of the longest road trip of the year. They are ripe for the picking.
And especially they exerted a lot of energy in the game last night in Minnesota. You know they're going to get in extremely late. By the time they get to their rooms, they're not going to skate this morning. So you have that feeling that, yeah, they may be a bit off.
All right, let's once again join Scott Oake. What's up, Scott?
All right, Paul, it was a great day that we had on Thursday in the U.S. capital of Washington, D.C. for the annual Winter Classic. It looked big, and conditions were absolutely perfect. And we should tell you an announcement's coming soon confirming a Heritage Classic for Winnipeg next season. You see, now, I don't think those pictures are fair because it's not like that every day in Winnipeg, but it is today. The game will be played at Investors Field, the Bombers' sparkling new stadium. One of the battle cries here is, imagine if it was being played today at 25 below. So what, we say. And Glenn Healy's already requested to be at rinkside at ice level for the Winnipeg Heritage Classic.
Well, there'll be no mosquitoes, that's for sure. That's a positive.
They're going to have to wrap you in a bubble heels. That will be one cold place to call a game.
Well, the very first one I did was cold in Edmonton as well. Minus 25 there.
Scheifele trying to hold that puck loose in the slot after he came breaking in with what looked like might have been a chance. Here's Santorelli. Smith wide open in the slot, and he'll come up and meet him there back in the net to Santorelli. Smith was heading towards the front of the net, had to slam on the brakes, but couldn't get the puck. Here's Santorelli, gets it right out in front, scores! Santorelli to Van Riemsdyk, back to Santorelli, it's 1-0.
Randy Carlyle moved Van Riemsdyk off the #1 line to create a couple of lines with some jam to them, and this line gets it done here. Van Riemsdyk and Santorelli play a little pitch and catch. First of all, they retrieve the dump in. They get on the puck quickly, and once they get it, Santorelli to Van Riemsdyk, he throws it back, and 3 Winnipeg Jet players are watching the puck go over to Van Riemsdyk, and none of them think to take Santorelli, who's coming back to the net, and he bats this thing out of the air. Great hand-eye coordination by Santorelli. The Leafs are up 1-0.
I said before, he's such a good pickup for the Leafs this year. Just fills a nice role. You don't want a whole team of Santorellis, but you need a couple of guys like that. 4th leading scorer on the team. Leads them in plus-minus, and what I've seen, just a hard worker. Breaking through, Wheeler. Does he get a chance? No. Now he gets it out in front, and Santorelli back there to pick it up. Puck back towards the line. Zipped up there by Harrison. Now Van Riemsdyk with it. Long pass, looking for the big stretch to find Trevor Smith. And then Smith bumped off the puck forcefully. Here's Wheeler. Tips it up ahead. Working across, Ladd took a bit of a bump there from Panik, and then Ashton finished it off. Working it there, Byfuglien got it in. He's got it back now. He'll come in. Lowry is with him. Byfuglien up towards the corner. Lowry moves up there in support. Byfuglien gets it in front. Scores! Gagliardi! Persistence pays off, and it's tied.
What a great job by Dustin Byfuglien. I know we've talked about him in the first period. He hangs onto the puck here along the wall while players are making changes. He takes this to the wall. He's got 2-3 leafs on him, trying to battle it. He gets it in. Watch him pick this off right here. Knocks it out of the air. Now he has to wait till he gets onside. He buys ice and buys ice. And now he uses his big body to get it deep into the zone. And here comes the forecheck of the Winnipeg Jets. And this puck's going to just bounce over to Gagliardi. And we see two similar players score in this game so far.
You bet, very similar.
Santorelli, Gagliardi. And again, the coach makes a shift in the lines, moves Gagliardi onto that third line. Thorburn back down to the fourth line. Both have been rewarded with goals.
And both free agent signings in the offseason. Here's Byfuglien. Feathers it up there and jumps right up. Perreault breaks towards the net. Byfuglien snaps one eye high. Right on, and it's grabbed and held by Reimer.
That's Gagliardi's first point in 224 minutes. But what impressed me about the play is the work of Halicek. And everything's about effort. Everything's about here trying to stay on side. Halicek with the forecheck. Gary, you talk about it right to your screen. Look at the effort for him to get on side so that Byfuglien can cross the blue line and then make his magic and do his damage. That streak comes to an end. 224. Put that one to bed. Monkeys off my back.
And again, the bad exiting of the Leafs. I mean, that backhand, soft backhand that gets picked off in the neutral zone by Byfuglien really leads to, starts out and gets to that goal.
First point of the season for Gagliardi. He had 17 last year with Calgary. Here's Party. Slater. Thorburn burrowing up there along the left side. Couldn't quite make it in. Party, Peluso looking for it. Peluso finds it, dishes off. Puck fired in there. Good low shot by Thorburn. And it's held by Reimer, and a real rugby ruck in there back of the goal as everyone piles in.
Nominate your community at khv2015.ca by February 8th for your chance to be the next Kraft Hockeyville. Brought to you by Maxwell House Coffee.
Ollie Oxen, free everybody in. Touch the tree and you're safe, man. Everyone was going to that net at the same time. Winnipeg on a 3-on-2 drops it. It's a simple shot to the net, and then two Jets collide together. That takes down Phaneuf, and then in comes Clarkson, and Thorburn takes him into the wall, and all of a sudden you've got a 10-car pileup behind the net, James Reimer. As Clarkson's had a couple of mishaps tonight. I think once he even tripped himself coming up the ice. A rough ride there into the boards.
You see it from ice level, guys. The Leafs look a lot more tired than the Winnipeg Jets, and rightly so, 5-7. But they're off after their shifts and heads are down.
Last game of a season-long 7-game road trip. 2-4 on the trip.
You see the end coming, right? And sometimes you can just take your foot off the pedal just a little bit, and it doesn't take much. And again, a tired team, it's going to even be that much more. But getting that goal, I thought, could give them some life, but then they almost like they sat back off it right after it.
Here comes Harrison, chips it up ahead. Little was looking for it there. He's got it now. Little gets it up for Wheeler. He's got company. Puck dropped down for Wheeler. Little and Ladd both circling around threateningly. Puck back for Harrison. Pushes a wrist shot in. Rebound is cleared away. Puck back at the line. Snapped back in by Klitzum. Down into the corner now. This is Wheeler. Comes out along to the half boards. Dishes it back up. Ladd was being tied up by Pollock. Puck comes up and around. Here's Little. Works it over. Byfuglien. Can he get a shot? sharp angle. He's going to take it around now. Byfuglien looking all the way out to the high slot. Still got it. Drops it back. Harrison tucks it across now. Lowry fired it in there. Jets really owning that zone here on this shift. Scores! Sherrod took the shot, and it was tipped by Haluschuk, and the Jets grab the lead.
Dustin Byfuglien sets the tone for this shift. He uses big body, puck possession. Paul Maurice talked about him wanting to have more puck possession in the offensive zone. He lays it back to the point. This puck ends up coming to the net and ends up in the net. And it's all about Byfuglien. He just wants the puck tonight, and it's so hard to get the puck off him. And eventually, this is going to be a puck that comes to the net. Ladd was all around the net. Haluschuk, Glenn, you were talking about Haluschuk, how hard this guy works. He's going to get rewarded here with a big goal on a deflection as he comes right to the front and tips this thing.
I thought Ladd, Little, and Wheeler just did a great job to set the table there for that goal. It ended up not being one of those guys who got it. Haluschuk did after the partial change, but man, did that top line do some great work. Leafs trying to bounce back. They've got Kessel and Bozak out there. Kessel trying to bat it down along the boards. Back out towards the line. Here's Kessel, and play is called. And Komarov was tied up over in the corner. I think we're going to have a penalty here.
You know, I think the referee out in the neutral zone might have jumped the gun here. I think it was just a stick got caught between his legs. They were trying to get it out. He's going to call them both, I think.
Shot came in for the blue line after some great pressure from the Jets, and it was tipped home by Mark Haluschuk. So just the one penalty, and it goes to this man.
Oh, it was like a pretzel. Watch Byfuglien's stick, how it gets caught in between Komarov and himself. He almost has to reach around Komarov's body. Watch his hand come out the backside of Komarov. He's got to let it go to actually get his stick. He's trying to get the stick out, and there's your call. The referee makes a call.
Take a look at this good change to the left of your screen. That's Jay Harrison coming off, and immediately upon Sherrod coming on, 2 seconds later, it's in the back of the net. We gave Haluschuk an assist on the first goal for staying onside, while Harrison gets one there for a good change.
Leafs in the power play. Puck up to the side, in front, quick shot on goal by Bozak. Stared down by Hutchinson. Puck comes over now, Franson shooting! Another big stop by Hutchinson right there. Leafs with a couple of good chances on this power play. Their power play 9th in the league heading into this game. Winnipeg's penalty kill 7th. Here comes Finn up. Bozak crisply over to Kessel. Van Riemsdyk. Kessel looking for it. Hardy breaks it up. Striding back out is Wheeler, short-handed. Franson there to cut it off. Put up. Kessel. Working up, Bozak. Works his way towards the slot. Canup has it here, fires it up to Bozak, who's being marked pretty closely there by Sherrod. And the puck played out.
Well, at least 8 power play goals in their last 10 games, but the one thing that these two teams are very dangerous on, and that is the penalty kill. Both these teams have 6 short-handed goals, which is #1 in the National Hockey League, so you've got to be careful.
Here comes Riley after that puck. Panik up there. Clarkson strides over. Dish back for Gardner, and he had to dive to keep it in. Nifty play there. Panik right in front of the net. Santorelli was there. Here's Riley looking around. Clarkson is parked right off the edge of the crease. There's the shot. It was tippable, but Clarkson couldn't get his stick on it. He's after it there back in the net. Here's Santorelli. Works it back out for Riley. Clarkson goes back to set up in front. In the high slot is Panik. He drops to the corner. There's Panik with it. Tries to stuff it there from the side. Hoeing away after that puck. But Hutchinson holding the door tightly.
Couple of face rubs here as some of the frustration down at the net starting to come out. And what a couple of big saves by Michael Hutchinson. We talked about him earlier and his rise to fame, and here he is in the National Hockey League, and he's awful deep in his net, almost Lundqvist-like deep, and he makes these 2 saves with the legs, kicks him out of harm's way.
Gary, you mentioned how dangerous both teams are short-handed. And this right could have been a short-handed breakaway if not for the extra reach of Gardner. And Hutchinson, you're right. He is a big guy in the net. Covers a lot of the area, and he competes really hard. One of the reasons the guys like playing for him is that he tries so hard in practice, doesn't give up on any shots, and there are goaltenders you like playing for. And Gary, there are other goaltenders you don't like playing for. We won't name them, but there are a few, and we've played with a couple of them.
Here's Byfuglien, works it across. Wrist shot fired in there by Scheifele. That was knocked down. Lots of traffic down in front of Reimer after Byfuglien set up Scheifele for a nice shot from that left side. Here's Polak. McKegg moved it up. Here's Scheifele again. Rubbed there by Holzer. Winnick sends it up and around. McKegg taps it ahead. Polak clears it in. Booth up there. Leafs in a change, so Booth the lone forechecker. Back the other way, Scheifele. Wheeler down towards the corner, drops the shoulder, comes around, and knocked away from him. A nice little poke check there from Franson. This is Klitzum for Winnipeg. Ladd scooped it in there, comes in after Phaneuf, slams the captain into the glass. Puck rolls back out. Bullet right on goal. What a shot by Byfuglien. Puck comes out in front. Wheeler shooting, and Phaneuf got in front of that. Another shot fired up. Byfuglien throws his weight around, crushing Booth. Here's Wheeler. Here's Byfuglien. Scores! Big Buff running rampant, stampeding, and the Jets are up 3-1.
They have laid it in hard. There's the hit on Phaneuf by Ladd. The puck gets turned over, it comes to the net. The Leafs have numbers. There's white sweaters there, but not one of them can find the puck. They get a break. It goes off Phaneuf's shin pad, but it's not a break enough. They can't exit the zone again. That's about the 6th or 7th time they have failed an easy exit the zone, and Byfuglien drives right in off the hit on the wall. He's going to follow it to the net. He sees he's got an advantage. He's wide open. He directs it to the net on a nice hard pass. And it finds its way through a maze and into the net. What a shift for that line in the Winnipeg Jets.
And earlier
in the castle or what?
Well, and earlier in that pressure situation, I mean, he struck one with ferocity from just inside the blue line. Reimer made a fantastic save, and then the wheels just kept rolling, and they're still rolling. Trying to come in there is Gagliardi, and then he was pushed away. The Jets are blasting along here in this second period, up 3-1, as we just passed the halfway point of the game. Holzer. See if the Leafs can find their footing. They are on the back foot right now. Kessel. Gardner. Komarov couldn't control it. Peluso shovels it in. Thorburn. Slater. And Thorburn after it. Holzer. And Komarov covering. Someone trying to work it loose. Finally, it comes out to Santorelli. Bozak. Harrison has company, gets it up. Tipped out there by Peluso. Here's Perreault. Slipped the check, moved in, takes the return feed, shoots! Nice stop by Reimer as he flicked out that left pad deftly and parried it away. Puck moved in, knocked down there. Klitzum shoots! Reimer another stop. Perreault looking for it. Is the ice tilted right now?
It's a good thing James Reimer is sharp, I'll tell you that. This could be a lot worse. He's had to make a number of saves, and the Winnipeg Jets are making his life extremely difficult. They've been all around his crease.
Here's Perreault. Back out. Postma fires one. That was knocked down on the way in. I believe it hit Scheifele. And Riemsdyk. Puck comes over. Lots of room for Postma. Striding up there in the wing. Dropped it back. And the play disintegrates.
3-1 lead. 7 minutes to go in a period. You'd like to see Postma just lay that puck into the zone. You know, your drop pass that doesn't make it. You don't want to give any life to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Haig up there looking for it. Pass up in the wing, bounces down. Wheeler! Wheeler in the corner, trying to knock it loose. Here's Ladd. His top line for Winnipeg has had a fine second period. Although a penalty coming up here. A little overzealous in the pursuit. And we're going to have a slashing call. Oh, check that. The call's going to go against the Leafs. We'll sort that out for you in a moment. Wheeler had a chance to add to the lead.
On the Budweiser red light scoreboard, Sens beat Boston in OT. Bobby Ryan had the winner. Wild game in LA. Nashville led by 3 with less than 3 to go. The Kings scored 3 in 1:25 to tie it, and Roman Josi won it in OT for Nashville. Canadians have goals from Pacioretty, Desharnais, and Gilbert. They lead the Penguins, and Yager's got a hat trick as the Devils are rolling over the Flyers. There's the penalty, Paul.
Well, I can see what you meant by the slash. There probably should have been 2 penalties, and that's what David Clarkson was kind of pleading this case, that yeah, I might interfere with him, but you got a 2-handed whack for it. So only the 1 penalty, and we saw earlier with Komarov and Byfuglien, they only took 1. You know, and oftentimes referees will just take 1 guy, and then that's the guy they took was Clarkson, and the Winnipeg Jets will go on the power play.
Yeah, I didn't notice the pick quite as much as the 2-hander, but there you go. Jets in the power play, 21st ranked power play in the league against the Leafs. 12th best penalty kill, and the puck tipped up into the netting, and we get a stoppage.
Toronto Maple Leafs have got to find a way to manage the puck better. I know it's a ferocious forecheck that Winnipeg is creating, but here it is here. The forecheck, close the gap, turnover, Gagliardi, goal. Same thing here. Booth, you get elevated to the first line, you're a 4th line guy, turnover, goal. Is it too early in the game to give Byfuglien a star? a lot of hockey left, but the start tonight, the Leafs are going to go down by 2 men now.
Well, on your little voting ballot, you can use the pen, is how I would put it. I wouldn't bother with a pencil. Shot by Perreault, and a nice kick save there, and another penalty coming up here.
It's going to be a call right off the face-off on Little, and his stick got snapped right away. He went to the bench to get a new one, and the Maple Leafs are going to head to the box. This is going to be a very extended 1 minute and 34 seconds as you see the stick go flying right there. And I think it's going to be Roman Polak, and I'm right. It's right off the face-off. Watch him on the left side of your screen here. He just see the hand go up by Little. It's like, what's going on? He just snapped the stick. 1 minute and 34 seconds. That is a lot of time to work with, and a clean win to Byfuglien.
It's a questionable 5-on-3 call, though.
Byfuglien works it up, takes the return feed over to Perreault. Drops it down low. Byfuglien top of the point. Lots of room to work it around out there. Perreault's in front, gets it over. Oh, and Andrew Ladd missed that somehow. They'll keep the pressure on here. Puck work back, Little. Here's Little, he's got Ladd down low, but he blasts this one well wide of the target.
It's the one you can't miss. You can't miss on the long one going wide because it's just going all the way down the ice and you're wasting time.
Here comes Wheeler, back in over the blue line. And Byfuglien can't pick it up, but 47 seconds to go in the 2-man advantage. Perreault at the line. Lays it up, Wheeler, Ladd, both up there after it. Little into the mix as well. Referee, unfortunately for him, into the mix too. And the puck turned over and played down the ice.
If I'm Little, I just get off. You've had a bad missed shot. You've thrown the puck out of the zone, and you just ran into the referee. It might be time just to get off.
And he does. Here comes Byfuglien up to the corner. Ladd up there following up. Here's Scheifele. Scheifele carefully drops it off. And the clear down the ice. And terrible effort in the two-man advantage.
Good job by Toronto. I mean, they're surviving it. They got 25 left to get through it.
Scheifele in over the blue line. Had Komarov draped all over him. Here's Perreault. Plays it across. Postma worked it up. Frolik. Scheifele. Frolik cruising towards the slot. Scheifele looking for a little bit more room. Drops it down low. Lowry on the half boards. Nobody right in front, but he got it across, and a nice quick shot fired by Michael Frolik that is stopped and held. So they kill it off. Best chance in the power play. Ladd, open net. Yeah, no, not that time. Play Exchange is a national call to action encouraging healthy lifestyles. Meet 6 finalists and vote on the program you feel deserves up to $1 million to fund the idea. Tune in Friday night at 7 on CBC.
These are the zone times for the Winnipeg Jets, and they've been in the lead zone in the first period. It's 9-1-1. Those aren't good numbers. Now the second period, much more of the same since the zone was open all first period. Why not keep it open with a 7-11 in the second period? And that's why the Leafs are just hanging on. They're on pace again for another, what could be a 50 shot against Knight.
Byfuglien pushed it up ahead. Puck rolls in there back in the net. Reimer has been in 6 times this year where he's faced 45 or more shots. Delayed penalty coming up here. And it's against the Leafs. Extra attacker out there for the Jets. Here's Wheeler. Byfuglien tight ropes along the blue line. Pardon me, that was Sherratt. He got it to Byfuglien, who played it up around there back in the net, and it looks as though it is going to be Bozak taking the penalty.
Well, they're not happy about it, and as you start to lose oxygen, you start to lose your patience and just about everything else. And Glenn, I agree with you. You know, once the stick breaks, it's an automatic call on the 5-on-3. And again, once your stick gets parallel to that body, once it gets across it, and we saw the one in the Outdoor Classic, Glenn, that you did on Jonathan Toews that ended up being the game winner. It's a penalty.
That was a tough call to end the game.
Oh, I agree, 100%, and I agree with you on the 5-on-3 call too. But it seems like once that stick breaks, it's going to be a slasher.
Shots 25-13. The Leafs have given up 40 10 times this year. You know how many Winnipeg have given up 40 plus? None. 56 straight games going to last year without giving up 40 shots. The Leafs are going to do it for an 11th time tonight.
Here's Perreault. Up into the corner. Wheeler up there with him. Byfuglien back at the top of the point. He'll take it here. Walks it across. And misfired on the shot. And that's trying to come out there was Winnick, and his pocket was picked. Stick broken. And apropos, another penalty.
Let's kind of look at it like, you know, you got to be able to use your stick to steal pucks, and we just saw Bozak's stick got parallel in the body, and here you're going to see Ladd come back, and he just whacks the stick to take the puck, and that stick doesn't break. He still gets a penalty. It's like you used to be able to do those things when you played. You're not slashing a guy, you're just whacking a stick to steal a puck, and we've seen a couple of calls like that tonight, and they're the calls by the book. I get it, but it's just good hard playing, I think, you know?
That snuffs out the remaining 132 of the power play.
Hey, you want to sell a call? Steal stick on stick, drop it.
Gardner to Riley. The team's playing 4-on-4 for the next minute 25. And then the Leafs will have a brief power play. Harrison carefully out there to center. Dishes off. He goes towards the net. Scheifele with it. Harrison will now back up to the blue line, and he's there to keep Clarkson from getting out. Puck comes across. Klitzen chips it up. Here's Gardner. Puck's going to bounce up here along the boards. Leafs trying to get control and set something up. Gardner with it will start out. Jets hustle in a change. Clarkson and over the blue line. And nowhere to go to get by Harrison. Ends up back of the goal. Puck slashed away. And now the Leafs will make a quick change. Pass up ahead. Wheeler jumping up in there. And he will catch up with the puck here in the corner, looking out towards the front. Little up there with him, and a little over to help out, but wasn't able to win the puck. It'll come back out. In 20 seconds, the Leafs will go on the power play. It'll be a brief one. Byfuglien slides it back. Gardner.
Interesting to see what happens when everyone gets healthy here. They like Sherratt playing with Byfuglien. They like the addition of Harrison, Enstrom, and Trouba's a star. I mean, is there going to be someone available?
Here's Gagliardi moving in with a rising shot that rose a little too sharply. Puck comes back to Phaneuf, tucks it over. Franson trying to snap it in on goal. He's got that quick one-timer release. He didn't get a chance to use it there. Gets it over to Phaneuf. Phaneuf shoots one up. Kicked away there by Party. Komarov up after it. Bumping against Harrison. Santorelli in there. Komarov trying to ferret that puck loose. Santorelli comes away with it. Not for long. And the puck rolls out. Franson dishes it back up. Komarov leaves us some good possession time here in the offensive zone. No shots yet, however, on this particular foray. And now the puck cleared out. Franson with it. Inside the last minute of this second period. Phaneuf ricochets it in off the boards. Hutchinson out there to park it. He's only faced 13 shots tonight as Hutchinson. Striding up there. Lowry up along the boards. He's got Thorburn with him. And Halischuk there too. Thorburn with the puck. Sherratt with a shot that hit the mask of Reimer. Puck will bounce down and it's cleared out. Byfuglien chopped it up there. Thorburn striding after it. Here's Riley. And final few seconds will tick off. And we are through 2 here in Winnipeg. Well, Byfuglien was a wrecking crew in that second period. Can we pencil him in for a star already? He's looked great. Jets are up by a score of 3-1. Second intermission coming up on Hockey Night in Canada.
On our Budweiser red light scoreboard, Bobby Ryan had the winner for Ottawa over Boston in OT. The Canadians are leading the Penguins, and Jaromir Jagr's hat trick as the Devils are rolling over the Flyers is the oldest player ever to score 3 in one game. The Detroit at Vancouver is the second half of our Hockey Night in Canada doubleheader. Carrots 3-1 Jets to start the third, be 8-1 if it wasn't for James Reimer, who's been the Leafs' best player. He's from Morweena, Manitoba. Even most Manitobans couldn't have told you where it was until Reimer broke in a big way with the Leafs. It's a Mennonite farming community about 150 kilometers north of Winnipeg in the Interlake region, home to about 150 people. Reimer and his wife April still go back in the summer. So clearly the most famous person ever to come from Morweena is James Reimer. The name is a Scandinavian word from Norse mythology connecting Asgard and Midgard. Anyone can get that off Wikipedia like I did, but we'll need a Western Michigan grad like Glenn Healy to explain it to us. Paul.
Yeah, I won't.
You lost me at Morweena.
I went to Bowling Green, so I'm no help.
So away we go, third period, and a heavy shot unloaded there by Andrew Ladd to test Reimer from Morweena, Manitoba.
Well, one thing is accurate is this score would be a lot worse if it wasn't for James Reimer for sure.
Mentioned it earlier, bears mentioning again. 6 times this year, Reimer has been the recipient of 45 or more shots. Actually has a winning record in those games. He's at 4-2. Puck knocked down. Up ahead, swinging in. Frolik went wide, and Riley stayed with him. He'll get it back now. Frolik back to Harrison, shoots. That was knocked down. And Santorelli back quickly to counter for the Leafs. Dished off over to Booth. Smith looking for that puck. Couldn't find it. Gagliardi driving up towards the corner. Gagliardi looks around. Meanwhile, in the net, getting up and out was Scheifele. Party. Scheifele. Being badgered there by Holzer along the boards. Gagliardi. Gardner watching him. Well, then Holzer stepped in and flattened his man, and he's going to take a penalty for that.
A little bite back by the Toronto Maple Leafs on the first minute and a half of this period, right in front of the Winnipeg Jets. Booth is going to run into Mathieu Perreault. Watch Perreault skating off the bench, and he takes one right dead smack in the middle, and he heads right back to the bench. Short shift there, and then interference call as Holzer comes in, and he's nowhere near the puck, or the puck is nowhere near him as he labels him into the ball.
Well, we saw in the second period a huge 5-on-3 kill by the Maple Leafs that keeps them alive in the game, and this is a similar situation. It goes in here, and it's lights out for the Maple Leafs, and they put an end to their 7-game road trip.
4 minutes going up on the clock against Holzer.
Toronto penalties number 55, Albanian Holzer, 2 minutes for interference and 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
2 for interference, 2 for unsportsmanlike is the breakdown.
Saw that last night with Phil Kessel. Just can't do it. You've got to have more discipline.
Here's Byfuglien. Puck work back to the blue line. Wheeler fires it in. Park right in front there. Little was trying to get set for the tip. And just failed to negotiate contact that time with the puck as it came through. Here's Perreault after absorbing that hit back out onto the ice. No, not for long. He heads right back to the bench. In over the line for a leak. Lost it.
Winnipeg ranks 29th in the league and have had their issues with taking penalties, and came to a head the other night versus the New York Islanders. But the Leafs normally a little more disciplined. In the last 2 games, they have really gotten unraveled a little bit as the game is still within reach.
Byfuglien for a leak. Back towards the blue line. Comes over here for Postma. Scheifele. A little bit of room. Postma. Scheifele moving up, fired one. That was Lowry parked right in front, and Lowry will stay down in deep. Couldn't knock the puck down there back of the net. Scheifele. Gardner bats at it. Scheifele gets it back to the line. Lowry going towards the front of the net. He's battling with Franson. Meanwhile, along the boards, Frolik got it across. Jumping up there was Klitzum from the right point. And play is whistled down.
Well, it's a 3-1 game, and you're still in it. And right here, as this puck squirts out, and you're going to see it come along the wall, there's no reason to play that body, and the interference call you can get. Take your 2 minutes. You don't like it, but it is the right call. And then you start opening up your mouth, and you make comments, and you get an extra 2. And now your team has to kill 4 minutes of this period, a period that they're hoping to try to get back in the game on. And then you had the same incident last night with Phil Kessel. One of your best players and the guy who's capable of scoring gets an unsportsmanlike penalty late in the game.
Yeah, he took a slash, and he barked at a linesman, a referee, and then finished the tour with another referee and was finally tagged with the penalty. Puck comes out in front, walking in, Little scores! And Reimer gives the referee an earful right afterwards.
He's mad. He thinks that Ladd interfered with him.
Mathieu Perreault has been so good for the Winnipeg Jets here. Great vision as Ladd's going to lay this over. Watch Ladd go to the net. There's the puck right there. And instantly, James Reimer turns as he pushes out. The stick of Ladd kind of gets into the pad of Reimer, and the referee will have none of it. And believe it or not, that's even before the 2 minutes. So now there's another 2 minutes to kill, and you're down 4-1 now. And Randy Carlyle is trying to rub the wrinkles out of his forehead as what will go wrong did go wrong.
But Gary, it's another turnover.
Oh, absolutely.
That leads to a come-down portage in Maine without anybody touching it.
Here's Perreault, walks it up, fired a shot that went off of Pollock's skating up into the netting, and we get a stoppage. Little has extended his point-scoring streak to 6 games.
Perreault, he loves the MTS Center. He's got 6 goals, and he's got points in his 7 straight at the MTS Center here. good patience as he waits for Little to get in the spot. You know, Ladd is standing a good 1.5 feet outside the paint. So as Reimer comes sliding out, he's a good foot outside the paint almost, when him and Ladd kind of have the little bump that they have. So tough call for the referee to make there. I like it being a good goal.
Third straight game in Winnipeg that Reimer has played in which he's given up 4 goals or more.
Hard to fault him here. You know, he's had some struggles here for sure, but none of his teammates have shown up yet for him tonight.
Here's Byfuglien, walks it in. What a night he's having, and looking for another one there. Had a bead on the top shelf short side. Here's Little. Winnipeg on the extended power play. It was a 4-minute man advantage. They scored in the first 2. 1:05 to go in this portion of the power play. Scheifele moves it up. Clipson. Scheifele with some room down that left side. Coming up, Lowry is with them. And Frolik was going for the front of the net. They all converge in the corner and can't come up with the puck. Gardner does, and he's back in over the line. Gardner looks. Winnick going for the front of the goal. Broken up, and back come the Jets. Frolik zips it across. Clipson tiptoeing up towards the corner. Slams on the brakes, looking around. Lowry is down low, but he goes back for Scheifele. Comes over, Poso with a shot. That stopped. Rebound came out. Lowry was right there looking for it. He stays parked in front of the net. Frolik moves it down to him, and he couldn't quite make the turn.
Nice stick play by Riley there. Laying it down on the ice, good body position, and making sure that puck didn't come out in front.
Scheifele flips it up. Fired on goal there by Frolik with a good chance. Team's back at even strength. This is Gagliardi. He had Byfuglien moving towards the front of the goal. Harrison.
One team is downhill skiing and the other one's cross-country skiing. This has been a tough sled here as the Winnipeg Jets continue to just apply pressure in the offensive zone of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Here comes Clarkson, trying to counter some of that pressure. Saw a little bit of daylight and kept his feet moving, and when you do that, it will often draw a penalty. And job done for Clarkson there. As he tried to fight his way through a couple of defenders, coaches tell you, keep your feet moving. He did, and he drops the penalty. He can play forward, he can play defense. He's home on the range in either position. What a night he's having.
Yeah, Paul Maurice knows what he's got. Look at the fans behind. They know what they got. A little dance, get on TV. That's what Scott Oak wanted. He wanted to be on Hockey Night Canada. That's what happened to him. And here's the night for Byfuglien. He played just over 19 minutes. Yes, he started as a forward. Now he's a defenseman because of the deficiencies at the back end. He's +3, and the biggest number that jumps out to me is shift length. 54 seconds. No longer the 2-minute shifts, the minute 30, the flagrant abuse of ice time. He's got it down pat, and it's not flashing green light all the time. He knows when to pick his spots. He's the star for me tonight.
Leafs 0 for 2 on the power play. This is their third. 4 shots on goal during the advantage. Here's Phaneuf. Works it over. Van Riemsdyk parked off the edge of the crease. Franson sneaking up on the right side. It'll come to him now. Works it around. Kessel with it. Kessel. Couldn't jam it past Party. Van Riemsdyk up after it. Nobody out in front. Comes back to Franson. Over for Phaneuf. Franson sneaking up all the way back. Kessel waits, shoots right on target, and Hutchinson hangs on.
Just to close up shop on Byfuglien, he has that physical skill, but he's also got a little bit of swagger to him. Now here's him at the face-off. Calm, cool, a little bit of a look up into the crowd, maybe a bit of a wink, you know, a little bit of a kiss. Yeah, I don't know who that's directed at.
I think it's at you, Glenn.
Certainly not me. Don't you love that in Stars when he just got it all going? He's the complete package.
Everything is doubled. All his point production, his plus minus. almost his minutes have doubled. I mean, when you can have a guy like that on the ice for 7 more minutes a night, and what he can do for you, I think he's in the right position.
Well, he moved back up to forward early last January, pretty quickly after Paul Maurice took over as head coach. And then moved back to the blue line as a result of injuries. He sort of jumped around, but December 5th, because of the injuries this season, permanently back in the blue line. Here's Phaneuf. Fires one in, comes back out, and off Phaneuf.
I know Chicago didn't want to deal him, but they had no choice.
Branson works it up. Backhand shot. And kicked away by Hutchinson.
They were hit with a tagging rule, and Taves won the Conn Smythe, which cost them a couple $1 million. And I have to clear off the books. He was the guy I had to clear off the books. Ladd was another one. He was one of the guys they had to make room for in Chicago. He comes to Winnipeg.
Versteeg, there was a number of them they had to clear out of there. You're bang on right. And he came here and had a home playing defense and was putting up numbers, but it got out of control on him.
Gardner walks up. Well, a real shame. I mean, that's the system, and that's the way it goes. But I mean, that could have been a real dynasty.
Well, you know, when he was given the Conn Smythe, Cheveldayoff, who was an assistant GM in Chicago, and Stan Bowman, they were probably the only two in the rink that knew, this player gets bonus for a Conn Smythe. It goes against next year's cap as a reduction. Couldn't you have given it to Pronger or just somebody else? We could keep the money, keep the player. Not so.
The Play Exchange is a national call to action encouraging healthy lifestyles. Meet 6 finalists and vote of the program you feel deserves up to $1 million to fund the idea. Tune in Friday night at 7 on CBC.
No one is exempt from Big Buff, and he'll do what he wants physically. He'll impose his will, and if he really wants and gets really mad at you, he'll take your glove, just shoot it in the net. Yeah, JVR, go get your own glove. A little bit of attitude there, guys. I used to do that with Gary Galley all the time when I played Western Michigan versus Bowling Green. They were just an inter-club team.
Shifley pushing it there back in the net. Foley.
Crickets, only crickets. I don't hear anything.
I don't want to comment because I'm wearing the ring, you're not, so I didn't want to, although you have the Stanley Cup ring, I don't, so that's why I'm saying I can't really go in that direction. I'm going to lose it no matter what.
You did have a blank look in your face, though.
I got to give Heels credit because he keeps going back to the same one over and over again. It was a 76-night save against Bowling Green in the CCHA championship, and you've been living off this every time he bumps into me for a number of years.
You should have been done. You lost. You lost. And they said, no, that team is too good. Move them on to the next round. How does that happen?
They didn't ask you how you won in New York, did they?
Yeah, but we didn't lose. You lost to Western Michigan, and they gave you a bye, basically, to the final.
All right, back to 2015.
Old wounds, eh? Old wounds.
The shots in there, and Reimer will hang on to it.
And the thing is, you're talking about Chicago and Buffalo and Ladd and teams that get in cap trouble. The New York Islanders gained Leddy, right, from the Chicago Blackhawks. They gained Boychuk from the Bruins, teams that are going to have cap trouble. And the Chicago Blackhawks, I mean, they're going to be in that same position when those salaries kick in for Kane and Taves and all that. They're going to have guys that are going to have to unload. There are teams that are waiting for those players that have won cups.
Well, and the bigger question, discuss amongst yourselves, does the current system we have preclude a dynasty?
We've got two that are on the cusp right now, though, Romy, with Los Angeles and Chicago. So if you manage it right, get the right people, it can happen. It can be done. You know, Gary, you mentioned about this Winnipeg Jet team when they get all their defense back. Do they maybe make some potential trades? Well, didn't that happen with Boston? They made a couple of trades because they had to, and wham, they lose 3 defensemen. What's wrong with Boston? That's a team that's in big trouble.
I think you look at some of the guys are getting a bit older, and Zdeno can't carry quite much as ice as he used to, but this is a good young team here in Winnipeg, and Paul Maurice has done a real good job with them. When all those guys come back, they have a guy, a good piece they can move on the backside that they'll get something good for.
Meanwhile, to bring the focus back here, we have 2 teams that I think You used the word cusp rather aptly a few moments ago, Glenn. Two teams here on the cusp of making the playoffs or slipping out of the race slowly and painfully.
And Toronto only knows too well what that feels like. They went through it last year. For the Winnipeg Jets, they are trying to find their way in. It's been a struggle for them, and they are working extremely hard to not let it go. It's going to be a tough road all the way down through.
The numbers just aren't good for Toronto. You look at the last 8 starts, they're 2-6, but it's at 3.75 goals against that bothers me. Most general managers, we like to show on TV every once in a while. The good ones know where they can hide, and that's Kevin Cheveldayoff behind there. Chevy, get away from there so we can at least show you. New York Islander draft pick.
Puck fire there, scores!
I had eyes on it.
Ben Sherratt.
This duo has been doing damage. They are a +8 tonight, the duo of Byfuglien and Sherratt. He has been a godsend for the Winnipeg Jets with all their injuries. This kid comes up and he's playing +20 minutes. They love it. Look at this thing traveling. This is bar and in. No chance. Just listen to the crack of this. There you go. That's the sound of joy when you hear that. See it go into the net. What a game this young guy has had. He had the goal there, and he had the one on the deflection earlier.
Defenseman of the year for their minor league team, the Ice Caps, last year, and playing so well up here when the emergency call went out.
And how are they going to send him back? They got to clear him through. He won't make it. He will not get through waivers, that kid. So he's here for good, unless, like I said, they're going to make a move. And I think they're happy that there are guys pushing. First NHL, first goal here, and watch as he lets this thing rip. And it's a clean draw. The Winnipeg Jets have done well on the draws tonight, and if you see Reimer, there's no reaction. And have another look at it, kid. Look at Buff. Have another look at it, kid. It's a thing of beauty.
I think the big thing there too, they're not trying to find a place to hide him. He's playing against the big line. That was the Kessel line. That's the line that scores 61% of the goals for all the forwards for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Penalty coming up against the Jets. We'll sort it out for you when we come back.
Matthew Pearl in the penalty box, so the Leafs set to go on the power play here. And here is the call. So the Leafs, as I say, on the power play. Earlier tonight, Randy Carlyle in conversation with Jets owner Mark Chipman. These two have always been tight. As you know, Randy Carlyle got his coaching start with the Jets in '96. Chipman hired him to become head coach of the Moose, president for 1 year, and Carlyle coached the Moose in this building when it opened in '04. After that season, Brian Burke hired him in Anaheim. 2 years later, Carlyle won the Stanley Cup. Jets have had 2 openings for a head coach, and both times Carlyle wasn't available. If he'd been, he would have been most likely a no-brainer to come home, Paul.
9 seasons as a player here. Great memories of the city for Randy Carlyle.
Last game was March 6, '93, and his last goal, and it was against Felix Potvin of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's got lots of memories of both spots.
Here comes Clarkson. And bumps there with Party. And the puck cleared down the ice. Leafs on the power play here. Just trying to prevent the salt from being rubbed in too much.
You never want to give up goals. It doesn't matter what the score is. You never want to have goals go in your net. Winnipeg is playing that way.
Here's Gardner, fires it across. Pass across there. Bozak couldn't get his stick on it. This is Gardner. Riley tips it up. Kessel down low. Van Riemsdyk swing and a miss. Here's Bozak. Riley under some pressure. Dishes up. Tucked down to Bozak. Kessel up in the corner dangling. Van Riemsdyk in the slot. Riley. Gardner with a shot pass. He was looking for Bozak. Here's Kessel. Riley shoots. Ricochets off a leg. Van Riemsdyk. Kessel sneaking in. Came across and he just missed that. Hutchinson knocks that down. And the puck tipped up ahead for Perreault. Out of the box, into the play. Frolik snapped it on goal. Came in after his own rebound. It's still loose down there. And Santorelli steers it up to the corner. He'll hustle up after it. Lowry thumped along the board. Santorelli. Alischuk got it out. Postma plays it all the way down into the Leaf zone. Just under 6 minutes to play here in this third period. A 5-1 lead for the Jets. Smith, turn back. Santorelli, Smith going for the net. Booth is up there as well. He's got it in the corner, or had it momentarily. Gets it back to Santorelli. Polak. Holzer gets it up around back of the net. Santorelli looking. Smith is out in front in the slot by the hash marks. Holzer. This is Booth. Santorelli down low will take it. Smith moving up to help out. Booth as well. Polak is open in the right side. He curls towards the net. It's bumped up for Holzer. Santorelli. Booth. That one got away from him. Smith. Booth is in front. Santorelli down low. And Gagliardi will chip it off the boards. And play whistle down as Holzer comes up. We get a whistle with 4:36 to go.
Teams that can control the game and control the lead of a game are good, solid teams. And no one quite looks at the Winnipeg Jets like those upper echelon teams right now. But when you look at the minutes with the lead, only the Pittsburgh Penguins have had the lead in more games than the Winnipeg Jets. And their road record is outstanding. And they score first. And they've accumulated points in a lot of their games. 25 of 38 games, they've accumulated points.
So that's an offside call and not an icing, which means we'll take a break on a Hockey Night in Canada. Some entrepreneurs just won't take no for an answer, will they? And thanks to the Second Chance Special, they will get another shot at scoring a lucrative deal on Dragon's Den Wednesday night at 8 on CBC.
Mark Chipman, he expressed interest in the team. It was going to be either Phoenix or Atlanta. Phoenix went into bankruptcy. He kept it quiet for years. He got Atlanta. And boy, the very first game in this building, we took part in it. The referees came on the ice. They gave the referees a standing ovation. This is a crazy hockey market, great fans, and they deserve an outdoor game. Give it to them.
Well, and Chipman doing it the softly, quiet way, which seems to be the Gary Bettman preferred method. If you get all aggressive and loud, Balsillie rings a bell, then you don't get it.
So you don't think it was right to sell season tickets in Hamilton while the team is still in Nashville?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay.
These have been patient fans as well. I mean, they're looking for it now. I mean, they had a real tough start, and Scott Oak mentioned about the incident with Paul and the F-sharp, and since then they've been on a roll.
And trying to tuck it in there was Booth. No, just to loop around to your point, Glenn, this is always has been a fantastic hockey city. This whole part of the continent, you know, you go down a little bit over to Minnesota, fantastic hockey area, probably the best in the U.S. for it being part of the culture. And great to see a team here. Booth. Holzer. 39 shots on goal for the Jets. Not sure if they're going to have a ceremony or not, but the next one If they get one to hit 40, this could be it here. It is. 11th time. 40 or more.
Just from start to finish, as the wave gets going here at the MTS Center, start to finish, the Winnipeg Jets did it the right way. They took control of the hockey game. They did it with forechecking. They did it with offensive end zone time, puck possession. They were strong on the puck. They were strong on the body, and the result was they got behind by one early, but then 5 consecutive.
It's Saturday night. It's Hockey Night in Canada. That means doubleheader. Second game, Detroit Red Wings against the Vancouver Canucks. The Stars will be out. Henrik Sedin, or is that Daniel? No, it's Henrik. I see the number. Jim Houston with the call. Craig Simpson by his side. Cassie Campbell-Pascal at rink level. That's coming up. 2:48 to go. A 5-1 Jets lead. What's going on, Scott?
Well, Paul, just to add to the mood surrounding the Winnipeg Jets in the city, I can tell you living here, they're being judged by a whole different standard now, 3 years on from moving here from Atlanta. The first year, as Glenn mentioned, it was pretty much a year-long party, but now the expectation is this team has to make the playoffs, and fans will tell you that they'll always kind of be known as the Atlanta Thrashers until they make the postseason. So to have them now in this position in a postseason spot halfway through the season creates expectations that the Jets know they are best advised to live up to.
2-5-1. Everyone was going, here we go again. You know, here this thing comes again. They started to question the leadership here. They started to question the owners, the management. They started to question everybody. And I think Paul Maurice did a good job of kind of everybody just take a chill pill here, and we're going to get this thing going. And they did. And I think they've gotten some confidence now. And they don't always get the results they want, but they're playing a particular way every single night. It's the hard way. They're a big team. They're a big-bodied team. And they are playing the right way, and they're going to get the results more often than not.
I think they're being built the right way, too. You look at Atlanta. Yeah, they made the playoffs once in their tenure, but they had to give up a whole host of young players, roster players, to get guys like Keith Tkachuk. That's not the way you're going to build them.
Peluso just fired that one wide. Rebound comes out. Reimer stops that. Peluso with a couple of chances there. Sherratt moves it up. Peluso winds his way to the corner. Halischuk banging his stick on the ice. And they push it there towards the side. 1:28 to go. It has been an offensive show tonight, led by the Winnipeg Jets with that big lead, and they really got it going in the second period.
The Maple Leafs scored the first goal of this game, then the Winnipeg Jets took over, and it started with some good hard forechecking, and TJ Gagliardi was the recipient of all that as he waded out in front and got his first as a Winnipeg Jet. And then Ben Sherratt fires this to the net. Good screen by Halischuk on the deflection. And then Dustin Byfuglien, who I think has been the first star tonight, did a heck of a job carrying the puck prior to getting it back here. And he 5-holes James Reimer. And then this nice sweet pass by Perreault, a power play goal by Little. The Leafs shorthanded for 4 minutes, and this slap shot was just a laser beam from the point off a clean draw by Ben Sherratt. He caught the post and in, and it's been an ugly night for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and a team that is sitting in the middle of the league, a team that leads the league in goals, leads the league in hits, leads the league in takeaways. But
leads the league in sweaters being thrown on the ice.
Yeah,
officially puts him in the lead right there, that one.
That's the second one I've seen hit the ice tonight. I can't make that man there very happy.
Here again is Scott Oake.
All right, Paul, you know, the Jets are starting tonight playing a horrific schedule of 5 in 7 nights. They got San Jose here on Monday, followed by 3 on the road. Paul Maurice says he can never recall any of the teams he coached having to play 5 and 7. The Leafs are finishing up the World Junior road trip, 5 games in 7 nights, and now go home for 2. They play Washington on Wednesday, so they've got a few days to try to sort things out.
It's a helpless feeling. I mean, Randy Carlyle, it's a helpless feeling when you see your team has nothing. They don't have any energy. They've got no giddy up. They just, you know, you're just hoping you can hang on and hoping that that first goal was going to give them a spark. But Winnipeg replied so quickly, but they didn't get anything out of it at all.
The Leafs don't like the road trip. 7 straight this year. They'll be doing it again in 2 more years because the World Juniors will be in Toronto again.
Yeah, back-to-back years, Toronto and Montreal sharing the World Junior Championship. Gagliardi up along the boards. He was knocked down. Under a minute to go. And things don't get a lot easier for the Leafs. They go home for a couple of games, and then 9 of their next 11 games will be on the road. And not to barrage you with statistics, but this will be Winnipeg's 5th win in a row against the Leafs.
Yeah, these are the statistics that matter. Offensive zone time in the first period, 9-1-1. Those are wrong digits. 9:09 in the second period, 7:57. The Leafs have played in their own zone in the third period. You're defending all night. As a result, it's 5-1.
And let's give lots of credit to the Jets, too. The Leafs have struggled for sure, but it's been a great performance.
They're on their game.
Well, and from a team that is missing their top 4 defensemen.
And Evander Kane, a big part of their size and forechecking, and you know, he gets in on the body and creates a lot of loose pucks. The Winnipeg Jets are playing that structured game that Paul Maurice wants them to.
Some entrepreneurs just won't take no for an answer. And thanks to the Second Chance Special, they'll get another shot at scoring a lucrative deal on Dragon's Den Wednesday night at 8 on CBC. More hockey to come on CBC. Detroit and Vancouver coming up after this game. And many, as I look around the building, on their feet with their Jets jerseys on, cheering on the home team for a great performance. As I mentioned, it will be the Jets' 5th win in a row over Toronto. They'll be 6-1 in the last 7 against Toronto. Here's Lowry. And that will do it. So the Leafs will head home battered and bruised, 2-5 on a 7-game road trip. The Jets celebrate a great effort, a 5-1 win. Here's Scott Oake.
All right, Paul, yes, they start and finish strong. And as you would expect, the 3 stars, the Winnipeg Jets sweep tonight. There's the first star, Dustin Byfuglien, a consensus pick for number 1. What a monster night he had. Brian Little, a 3-point night, star number 2. And Ben Chiarot, a goal and an assist tonight. Quite a story he's authored in 2 months in the NHL. The Jets dominate from start to finish in a 5-1 win. George and the panel when we continue on Hockey Night in Canada.